Well, hello, my deliciously sinister friends and fans of the macabre. Welcome back to Musey's Modern Dreadfuls and Tales of Terror. And today, I'm gonna bring you a fabulous story by one of my favorites and one of your favorites as well, Hyperobscura. I found an old ruler in my grandpa's attic. It came with a list of rules. I'd always loved rummaging around my grandpa's old stuff. So many weird artifacts, old pictures, the odd war memorabilia. He wouldn't let me keep any of the stuff though, but I could play up in that attic for hours. But that's before I found the ruler and the rules of the ruler. The ruler rules. It was hidden in a small chest, like a jewelry box. I hadn't seen it before, which I found very strange since I was pretty sure I'd gone through just about every inch of that place. But there it was, centered on the floor in plain sight. A small box inscribed with strange glyphs. I didn't think twice about it and opened it almost before my fingers reached it. To my utter dismay, there wasn't anything in it other than the old ruler and a dusty parchment, upon which there were written some passages in plain English. I looked at the parchment suspiciously. Did the boring old ruler come with homework? That's like the worst treasure ever. I shrugged and started reading. Keep this on your person at all times or in the box it came with. Do not measure anything with it. Important. If you chew on it, make sure to spit it out in holy water. Always greet your new friend under the bed. If you should forget any of these rules, place the ruler back in the box. Don't worry about the previous owner. They will be fine. Trust me, just fine. What a load of hooey, I thought. Although it did intrigue me, I won't deny it. I'd been a sucker for weird things like this since I was old enough to read. Horror, mystery, scary stories. What if this thing was real? I knew I was way too superstitious to ignore the ruler's rules, so I gently placed it back in the box and hid it under my shirt. I ran down the stairs and shouted a brief goodbye to my grandfather before I headed home to try to make sense of the strange old thing. I don't know how long I sat in my room just looking at it, inspecting it, admiring it. What had looked like nothing but a boring old ruler now appeared esoteric and ominous. All these strange, unknown, indecipherable runes and markings were truly remarkable and foreboding. I researched whatever old forgotten languages and hieroglyphs I could come across, but none of the symbols even came close to the ones on the ruler. They were old, ancient, primeval. And somehow I just knew they had some power or other. But what? I tried waving the thing around like a wand, shouting, "Ada Kedavra!" at my neighbor's stupid cat. But nothing seemed to happen. I just sighed and just slouched down in my chair, gently caressing the ruler in my hand.
Forgot something?
A dark voice called from under my bed. I fell out of my chair from the shock, desperately crawling toward the door as I realized what was going on.
I'll let it slide this time, but don't make a habit of it.
The voice said. What? Who are you? I stuttered.
I'm the friend under the bed. Didn't you read the rules? Oh, by the by, you should probably go comfort your mom.
It said. What? Was all I could muster.
Your grandpappy is dead, kiddo. Better go make her feel better.
I quickly got up and threw the door open, running hysterically into the living room, only to find my mom crying on the floor, gripping her phone in her right hand. Mom? I asked. What's wrong? Oh, baby, she sobbed. It's your grandfather. He is dead. I couldn't believe it, but it was true. He'd been taking a walk soon after I left, up the trail to Pronged Point, and had been mauled to death by a mountain lion. It is the only registered mountain lion in the area to this date. Some freak accident. I tried my best to comfort my mom, but she was totally in shambles. And I knew, deep down, I knew it was my fault. As I was sitting there, cradling my own devastated mother, a sudden realization hit me. The ruler. I didn't have the ruler on me. I threw my mom aside and bolted to the room, pouncing at the ruler still lying on my desk. I was about to put it back in the box when I was interrupted.
Forgot something again?
The dark voice called. I turned around. It didn't come from under the bed this time. It came from my door. It was my mom. Only it wasn't her anymore. She had this horrid smile on her face, and her lips were black. She held a kitchen knife to her own throat, and I could spot a few droplets of blood sliding down her neck. Mom? Mom? I asked. What's going on?
I ain't your mom, kid, but you know that. You done messed up the rules thrice now. Can't have that. Need to make it right.
It said. It slowly started cutting into the neck with the knife. I could see the droplets of blood multiplying, forming small streams as the knife made its way to the other side. No! I yelled and quickly grabbed the box from the desk.
Look, kid. I'll leave her alone. Just don't put it back in the box.
It said, dropping the knife in an instant. Screw you! I yelled as I rammed the thing down in the box as hard as I could. My mom collapsed to the floor. I've never told her what happened. I never will. Look, I don't pretend to understand anything that happened that day, but I know it all had something to do with that box, with that ruler, with the ruler's rules. I was able to convince my mom she had a mental breakdown, and things soon got back to normal. That's life, you know? But as soon as I got the chance, I buried that box deep, as deep as I could manage. I guess that's why I'm writing this today. You know, nostalgia or absolute terror. One of the two. I just wanted my story to be known. As a warning, perhaps. As an epitaph of sorts, I fear. I woke up this morning and there was a hole in the garden. And the box wasn't in it anymore. And that was, once again, I found an old ruler in my grandpa's attic, and it came with a list of rules, which I may just call ruler on the thumbnail. So hopefully, I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll find a way to get you excited enough to click on something, even if I can't cram all the words in together or have somebody help me do it. Anyway, in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed. Wanted to get you one more story out there, and many more coming up. Yippee-ki-yay, Musey lovers. I'll talk to you soon. Now, there are collabs coming up. I always give you info at the very end. So, again, War of the Worlds with Mr. Creepypasta, Dr. Creepin, Madam Raven, Musey of Musey Modern. Well, there's more than that, but I have to throw myself in even though I have teeny tiny lines. But hey, I'm open to collab anytime with anyone. So if you want to collab, let me know. I don't care if it's only a couple lines, because the more I work with others, the more fun I have. In the meantime, oh yes, check out Hoodie's upcoming. He's got a upcoming Stalker series, and I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that. I performed a piece with Baron von Pasta, and I will also put it on my channel later. And I also just spoke about this weird stalker neo-Nazi chick. It's bizarre, but I didn't add the creepiest parts because just even explaining how I got a neo-Nazi heterosexual, assumedly neo-Nazi after me is female, and she's female, is a story in and of itself. So the creepiest parts I might even put on here. In the meantime, thanks for spending time with me. I will happily spend as much time with you as pleases you. Come back and see me. Bye now.